Hello and welcome back. Hope we're all doing well. So I'm just currently getting on my check-ins because it's Monday morning. So most of you will either be hungover or you'll be maybe off to the gym or whatever it might be at this point. But as I said, just getting on my check-ins. Nearly finished up with them now. It's like 10:05. And if you haven't noticed by the title on the video, I did actually injure my lower back this week, so it's like a little bit of a pinching issue that I've got just above my left glute. That happened on Friday morning. I've got literally no idea how I managed to do it. And yeah, I've not been to the gym or anything since. Food's obviously been low for the last couple of days. Activities had to be low because of that. And I think I'm going to try the gym today. But I'll be taking you through exactly how we can deal with setbacks and how we can change our mentality around them. Because although, yes, it's only been a couple of days, it's still very frustrating when I'm only 5.5 weeks out from a photo shoot prep. Obviously, the last couple of days will be, or the last week or so will be a peak. So it's only like 5.5 weeks of actual fat loss left. It's not ideal because I can't do anything to do with legs right now. So we're just having to manage that in the best way that we possibly can. But yeah, it is what it is. We just got to deal with it. So I'm going to get myself to the gym, see how I feel. The training will be adapted for it. So I'll not be going as heavy as I normally would be. Probably be taking just a lot of weight off, being very selective with the exercises that I'm using. And making sure that I'm still training with intensity, but, making sure that, as I said, the weight being low right now and execution is going to be a really, really important one because obviously if I hurt my back, then I'm going to be out for even longer. So, got to be careful, but obviously this is unfortunately prep. Sometimes these things have to be done. Right then, welcome back. So it is around a day later, and I'm going to basically just sit and wrap the video up now, give you a little bit of an update on what's actually been going on, and then we'll have a talk around how to manage setbacks, and I'll play the training clips that I did yesterday over the top of this video. Now, as I mentioned in the first clip, I injured my back literally just getting out of bed, right? Unfortunately, that is part of being over 25. You don't bend anymore, you just break. So rolled out of bed, hurt my back, wasn't really able to do much. I wasn't even really able to walk or anything like that, which now I'm at a stage where I can. But what I want to talk about is managing setbacks, because I'll say this now. I refuse, and I'm talking flat out refuse, to get to the shoot on the 20th of May and turn around and go, oh, well, I hurt my back, so I didn't bring the best package that I could, and I didn't work as hard as I could. Now, is the lower back injury potentially going to affect my results? Maybe slightly. Am I going to do absolutely everything that I can outside of that to mitigate the problems that might potentially cause? Yes, of course I am. Am I still getting steps in where I can? Did I still try and train yesterday? Am I still managing nutrition? Yes, I'm controlling every single small thing that I can control. Every single thing. Because as I said, if I roll up to the shoot on the 20th and I look the best that I can, that I possibly can, and I put the most amount of effort in that I possibly could, well, then I know that that's all I could have brought, and that's fine. That sits well with me. Like, if the results were affected a bit by my back, that's fine. But I'm not doing this necessarily to look the best. I'm doing this because I need to prove that I can work as hard as I possibly can and control every single thing that I possibly can. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to control every fucking thing that I can. I refuse to get there on that day and not look the best that I possibly could because of a lack of effort and me throw my toys out the pram. Now, what I could do is let this back injury affect everything, say that it made my motivation really low, and, chuck everything out the window, stop looking after nutrition, don't do any steps, don't even try and train. But ultimately, what that would then mean is that the problem with my back wasn't actually the thing that caused the issue. It was my reaction to the problem that I've had with my lower back. That's what would have caused the problem there. So the things that you'll see that I've done, if you look at the training clip over the top, is you'll notice that all of the movements that I did were either stabilized through machines or they were chest supported, so that I didn't have to stabilize myself with my lower back. It's simple as that. I just literally spoke with my coach. I said, look, my back's feeling like this today. I might go and try it at the gym session. We sat and discussed which exercises that I could look to do. And yeah, we just came up with a little bit of a list of what I could do, and we discussed that we were going to work around the problem. And my body weight hasn't really moved the last couple of days. I'm still not stressing. Yes, I messaged my coach and said, do we need to do anything with food? But that's not necessarily stressing. I trust him 100 million%. So everything that he tells me to do is exactly what I'm going to do. And you're the exact same if you're watching this and you've currently got a coach, or you're thinking about getting a coach. The best thing that you can do when you work with somebody is trust everything that they say. everything that they say, if they know what they're talking about, of course. So the thing that you'll notice from the training clips above is that I still train everything to failure. I took basically 1 or 2 stacks down from what I would normally be on, so I didn't do anything plate loaded, so I didn't have to pick any actual weights up. Literally just changed the pin in the stack, so again, minimize risk of injury. But I just went like 1 or 2 stacks down from what I normally would, literally so that I'm not having to like swing or use any momentum or anything like that. The whole point of what I was in there to do yesterday was just get in, move, contract the muscle as hard as I possibly could to failure, and obviously still make sure that I'm training, you know, decently hard to a point where I'm actually getting some stimulus and the point where I'm actually getting stronger. So yeah, like I said, you've just got to be able to work around these things and just look at setbacks as opportunities to prove to yourself that you can do these things. Because if you can do these things when it's difficult, you can 100,000,000% do these things when it's easy. 100%. So having this attitude of seeing a setback as a challenge and not the end of what it is that you're doing is by far the best thing that you could possibly do for your progress. And this is the biggest issue. Like, some people will get, you know, like a slightly bad ankle or a slightly bad knee or a bad back, or they might get ill for a couple of days. And I hear it all the time. It's like, oh, well, I got ill, so I just sat and ate shit and I sat on my arse all week and did absolutely nothing because there was no point. And then what actually happened is it spiraled into two weeks, then 3 weeks, then 4 weeks, and then right back before you know it, you're literally exactly where you were when you first started. It wasn't the initial setback that caused you the problem. It was the reaction to the setback and the things that you did for the weeks after. It's as simple as that. And you will hear me banging about this all the time when I do my YouTube, my Instagram. Control the things that you can control. It's as simple as that. Just control every single thing that you can possibly control. You should control. It's as simple as that. There's no way around it. There's no secret sauce. There's no magic. There's nothing like that. Like, just control the things that you can control. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that was pretty much it. It was just a little bit of a rant about how my back's feeling. The update now is that I've basically been out for a couple of different walks today. So I've been out for 3 walks. It is scorching in the northeast of England today. So I've been out. Been really nice to get some sun on my face. And again, I've just seen this as an opportunity to wind down my training a little bit. I'm not training legs still, but I've used it as an opportunity to wind down a little bit, kind of reduce inflammation throughout the body, feel a bit more recovered, and be ready to go again by the time my back's feeling better, which will hopefully be in a couple of days. So yeah, just using this as an opportunity to get more work done. Like, I've now got content done for the next 2 weeks. I've got loads of time tomorrow, so by tomorrow there'll be content done for 3 weeks, and that means that instead of sitting and feeling sorry for myself, I've just got myself 3 weeks ahead with my content, so I've got way less work to do over the next couple of weeks. And it does mean that in the future, if anything happens, if I go on holiday, if I do get ill and I literally can't do content or whatever it might be, there's always going to be stuff there that I can fall back on. So I've used that as an opportunity to do that, and as I said, to get myself outside, which has actually been very nice. Food is pretty much, well, food is like still the exact same from my coach as well. So things are still exactly the way they were. Steps are still 10,000. I've only really been able to do that like today and yesterday. And yeah, like I said, we're just going to continue to take along, but body weight has come down a little bit. We're down from 197 to, at the lowest last week was 165, so that's 32 pounds at the lowest, as in the biggest difference. So it's like 2 stone and 4 pounds I'm down now. And yeah, things are moving pretty well. I've got 5 weeks left as of tomorrow, and I'm excited to see what I can bring.